Recording. All right. Good morning, Paula.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Did you rest well?
I did rest
Okay, very good.
really well.
Very good. Did you hear the rain last night?
No.
You were like out. It was around like two, three, like strong.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that it rained because it was.
It's
I
like, strong.
was asleep.
Sounds good. Okay, so how about we chat about your experience here?
Sure.
Maybe you want to introduce yourself first to share like where you're from, what you do, and kind of take from there into Huachuma Wasi, into the actual time spent here.
So for about 15 years, I've been doing plant-based medicine in different kinds of medicine, and it's been very helpful. The person that I was 15 years ago is not the same person I am today. I really was able to explore a lot of the traumas of my childhood and ancestral traumas and work with those to create a better path, for the now, for living in the moment. So it's really been it's been good. There's been times where I fought it, where I pushed back, and then every time I would take a step forward, it would be good momentum, another step forward, and then a pause. And so I really enjoyed just taking my time on that path, not trying to find a quick fix into being just a better person. You don't just wake up tomorrow and say, oh, I'm a better person.
No, it doesn't work like that. I wish it would be like that, but no, to be a better person, it's a long journey.
So it still takes a lot of work.
Of course.
You still have to remember, why are you doing the medicine? Why are you here? What is it going to benefit you? And then integrate that into your daily life. Integrate that into, getting up in the morning and doing the meditation every day, or writing in the journal, or writing gratitudes, or writing affirmations. Really kind of sitting in with yourself and reflection every single day.
Okay. So what plants were you using for that, what you just described?
So there was various plants, kanna, sassafras, mistletoe. I have used ayahuasca, A Buffo, psilocybin. I don't like cannabis. I don't feel like it's a really good teacher for me. It doesn't work well in my body.
I have a history with that. It's kind of a complicated relationship in my youth. So I was in and out from this foggy state of mind that finally was broken, and I was very happy. It's like a relationship that you hate and love at the same time. It's like I don't want to make it this conversation about myself, about kind of you just share that, so I kind of reflected to it. It's like, I'm not for it at all. It's like cannabis makes you lazy. It makes you grow a beard while sitting on the same couch for like 40 years thinking you're a philosopher. That's what happens to many people.
Yeah, and each person reacts differently to all medicines.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing's the same for anybody. We're all individuals, and that's why the work that we do, whether it's Huachuma or ayahuasca, the work that we do is an internal journey.
That's true. Although there is like a certain traits, it's like that's what the plant does to most of the people. Or it does this, but you can tell. It's individual for sure. Depends on the person, but it's also like you can tell. Like you can generalize to an extent. Like if you do this, that will be the results, less or more, with some variation.
Right.
It's just like we know this. Like we did this. We have all the friends did this. Like we know where that leads. So I don't recommend it personally, but of course she can be used as a medicine. If you do it, like in the proper way, you don't abuse her. She's easy to be abused. That's the problem, If you have the discipline not to abuse her, she can be useful as calming, relaxing agent, kind of. So she is a medicine. She's medicine plant for sure. But you need to kind of know yourself and how to work with it.
Right.
Otherwise, you will be used by her. So, which was my case. In 17, 18, 20. Stuff.
Well, you learned something
Yeah,
from
no,
there.
oh,
And
for
you
sure.
grew,
No, it
and you
was.
grew.
There was a lot of great things in
Yeah.
that too. You know, like really, it's like I think she kind of directed me to where I am today. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful to that for that, and imagination and kind of all this first understandings. I would say like first kind of thoughtful realizations. Of course, it's not like it's not the same with we do with the sacred plants, but it's like certainly like a build up on the way. So there is respect to that, and yeah, there is a space for that in my life, in my history. So it's not like bad.
Right.
But then she drove me crazy. Then it's just like okay, the paranoia came, anxiety. Just like okay, that's time to
Stop.
so yeah, that's time to stop and move on. So no, just to get into to throw this in there. As you said. Okay, so what maybe you want to share like something about Buffo, it's like how you came to this, like, and how you work with it, and maybe how you serve it to people. If you want to share that,
Sure.
some people will be interested to check this out.
So about 3 years ago, I've always loved toads and frogs and amphibians, and I felt like I just had a special bond with toads. And I'd met a toad on my path when I was in Hawaii, like literally on my
Okay.
path. I was going on a pathway next to a river, and there was this big giant toad that was sitting right in the middle of the path, and I felt such a closeness and a connection. And the time had passed, and about I would say 6 months after that, the calling to do 5-MeO DMT naturally had called to me, and a teacher in LA. I had contacted her, and a very beautiful woman, just full of compassion and kindness, started working with me and offered to teach me how
Serve.
to ethically serve, how to serve with intention, and to serve for the person's best interest. And so I have been in training. I don't think any of us ever leave training. We're
Yeah, it's
always
a
learning and
continuous,
growing.
process.
But I did graduate from that program because there was a lot to learn. There's always a lot to learn, especially with just the mechanics of any plant medicine. And I have safely and ethically served over 200 people, and it's really just been a blessing to me. There's times where the process that I'm witnessing, it makes me cry and makes me happy and makes me really enjoy what I do.
So maybe we make this talk about Buffo a part of Huachuma, of course, as a main subject. But I think it's important because I had over the years I had a number of people here who came very traumatized after Buffo experience, extremely traumatized. Like I had a girl from Mexico, she couldn't talk. Came like a year later. A year she was so frightened. She came here like she couldn't talk. She was like so. I'm like, okay, don't worry, Huachuma is different, and we can look into it and we can heal the trauma. It's kind of one of my specialties because I was that too. Not from Buffo, I was traumatized by all kind of things. Psychedelics and then ayahuasca and like everything. So I know how it is. I can help people who have fear for any plants and who need that gentle entrance and healing. I'm probably the best guy to do it with because I know how it feels to be traumatized.
Right.
So we help her. It's like, with Huachuma, she felt definitely, she started smiling after a week. She's like, oh. But then I felt like, whoa, that wasn't, whatever happened to this girl wasn't good.
There's a lot of misinformation, and then there's also a lot of so-called facilitators and guides that are giving a one-all-fits-size dose. especially actually in Mexico. There's
Yeah,
been a lot of people that have come from, that have went to Mexico thinking that they're going to get an answer or clarity.
They get trauma.
They're getting trauma because they're not being held in a natural state. They're not being held in a nurturing state. And then they're giving a very, very high dose.
Which would be what?
They're giving, from what I hear, from the research that I've seen, it's 150 milligrams.
But how would you say? Is it like a few smokes, or 2, 3, or how would you do that?
So
like how much?
Right. It works the same as like a resin. So we're heating up the resin and then you're inhaling.
Yeah, you
the
inhale,
resin.
but how many times?
For 150, they could do it one time.
You can just one time the whole thing.
You can do one time the
It
whole
just
thing.
depends. Yeah, depends on what you inhale, like in total.
Yeah, no.
So 150 what ml?
Milligram.
Okay, so that's a high dose.
Right.
So what's the dose you recommend?
So with anybody that's new, that maybe has a little bit of fear or has anxiety.
25, 30.
20 milligram handshake.
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
A handshake is, just feel into it, see where it's at. You might not even go anywhere. You might still be very much in your body.
It's a quarter cup of my medicine.
At that point, though, if you're able to say, yes, I would like a little bit more.
Yeah, you already have the confidence.
Well,
trust.
Right.
So, yeah, that's very irresponsible. It's very irresponsible. It's like, you see how we work here. Like for me, it's like I interview everyone before people come here. Like you have the questionnaires. Like I know who is coming, and based on this, I still follow my protocol. I'm still taking my steps, even if you told me like. If you wrote a whole Bible of experience, you know what I mean? I still will take my steps to actually see if that's the truth. Still getting you, into the zone.
So with my Buffo teacher, what she has taught me is not only to do the intake form, but then the intake form, the questionnaire.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So then also she has very strict guidelines, very strict. There's people that don't need the medicine. They think they need it, and they don't. If they have schizophrenia,
definitely,
it's definitely not.
No, I'm not taking people with schizophrenia.
Right, and then as well as like medications.
Absolutely no. You have to be normal. That's what I call normal. Normal meaning like reasonably normal and healthy. You're not schizo, you're not psycho, you're not crazy, you know what I mean? You're just a normal person who needs help and guidance in life.
And then after we do the intake, we have an orientation meeting on video. Because, we're not going to meet in a group yet. So we have an orientation where everybody in the group gets to come. They get to talk about... A video call. Mm-hmm. So they get to learn exactly what the process is going to be, and they get to kind of share more of themselves in a very organic way, so that you can see, are they lying, are they telling the truth, where are they coming from? And then after that, it's either a group session.
Those people are lying. People are lying. I know this for a fact.
Well, they want to get help. They know that, somewhere somebody has told them that they can get help, and
they want to hide them.
They want to hide whatever they're doing, and that's the first part of any 5-MeO DMT ceremony is the surrender. So how can you surrender if you don't trust?
Well, it's any medicine.
That's why.
It's like any medicine.
Well, and that's why we meet with clients, you and I both, to embrace them in a loving way,
so that
they can feel trust. Because once they feel that trust with their facilitator, their guide, then they can surrender to the medicine. When they surrender to the medicine, they have beautiful journeys.
Mm-hmm. Well, trust, of course, that's what we build. The first ceremony here, it's really building the trust with the medicine, with other people, and then it makes it easier to go in, So in your experience, what would you say, did you have any negative experience in Buffo?
No.
All good? All positive? All
There's times where people are really processing a lot of dark stuff, their dark shadow. They really, sometimes they need 2 or 3 sessions. Um, and that's okay. People are not going to come to us clean and happy. They're going to come with problems, and they're going to have to work on those. And this Buffo allows you to see what's really in your soul, who you really are. It takes you to that place of depth that only you can see, and so it just helps you to see that.
Interesting. Well, I'll be happy to make references, because when people, most of the people who I met were traumatized. So I'm like, oh, guys, what are you doing? Is there anyone there who can do things right? So it's like it shouldn't be that way, with any medicine, and it can be,
Yeah.
So if somebody will ask me about this, I'll be happy to share your content and just check you out and do it in a good way, as a medicine, not as a traumatic agent.
Right.
Basically that's what I saw so far, in my clients.
Well, when you're ready, you can come see me too.
Me personally, I'm fully loyal to Huachuma, and I get everything I need and want from medicine, so I'm not looking at anything outside of it.
Okay.
It's like a happy marriage. I'm happily married. It's like I don't need to do anything. I don't need to look outside of my marriage, like literally and metaphorically, talking about the plants, But other people, for sure, it's like I'll be happy to assist in that process, so people can get benefits when they're back home. Because most of, 90% of my guests are from the States. I have some Canadians, some Europeans, some Australians, but it's very little. So mostly it's American. So that's, people asking me all the time, and I'm like, okay, it's like there's nothing I can refer with clear conscience, thinking, knowing that you will be okay, you'll be taken care of. So it's like, okay, don't do it. Just don't do it. If you don't know where to do it well, don't do it.
That's the thing with all plants.
All plants, for sure.
If
Don't
you
do it.
doubt something, take a pause. Get
Don't
more
do it.
education.
So, okay, so what would you say, to wrap it up, A Buffo, and then we'll move to Huachuma experience here. What would you say to people, like if people who want to do Buffo, what would you tell them?
If they were traumatized, or if they just were...
No, just afraid because they hear all those kind of stories. So how would you calm them down and say, like, like this will not happen with us, with you, in that sense?
Because I've seen the beautiful experience that people have, and I've witnessed for myself that same beautiful experience. And I feel that when I have compassion for others, and they can feel that, that's when the trust comes in. There's just a lot of misinformation out there, and I would tell people to stop looking at the YouTube videos of who's been traumatized, and start really ask. It doesn't even have to be me. Ask whoever is your guide, for all of that information, and ask them, like, where are you coming from? How long have you been doing this? What is your procedure? How are you going to keep
Ask
me
questions.
safe? Yeah, how are you going to keep me safe? For every session that I do, there is always another person with me to help guard I call it an angel, to be there for that person. For whatever experience comes up, and they might get sick. We know exactly the protocol to help them. I was in a session myself where I got sick. And when I came out of the experience, I didn't even know that I had purged, because they had done such a beautiful job to make sure that it wasn't on me, it wasn't, the purge was gone. They cleaned my face, everything. So
you're kind of unaware of yourself during the experience.
You're not aware. It is a disassociative. So yes, for about 15 minutes, 7 to 15 minutes, you're completely free of pain, you're completely free of this body, you're completely free of this environment, because you go into your soul. It's been known as the God molecule because there's been many people that say that they see God. And if we think of God as the maker of all the souls, and you're seeing yourself, then you're seeing God.
So you have no awareness of your
Physical body.
yeah, like all your consciousness. Like you don't know who you are at that time.
You know who you are.
Like on a deeper level in terms of like
Right.
consciousness, you still maintain a sense of self.
Right.
You do.
So you maintain a sense of your soul and yourself, right? But you don't maintain what is on this plane of existence as far as your ego, as far as like your body. What's beautiful for, I think, for many people is the fact that they can be relieved of pain from the body. They can have an experience where
Of relief.
of relief, but they can bring into that place where they can do that healing as well.
Like bringing back hope that they can feel that way back in the body.
And sometimes they see ancestors that have passed, and it's beautiful moments. They can see their ancestors and make amends or even affirmations. They can really connect into the ancestral world there too.
Okay. Yeah, of course it can be very traumatizing, obviously. Like, if the place not even held well and you took too much, I can definitely see how that can go the wrong way.
It can go the wrong way, or
It can go the right way.
you can be surrounded by
Yeah.
people that really have your best intention and want to see you heal.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely. It's the key point who you do it with. Like any medicine, that's all I always say to people. Any medicine, just make sure you do it with the right people who you can trust. That's the key. That's it. That's the key. Trust. You have the bond. They will take care of you. And of course, they have to have the skills too. Experience, not just the trust, but trust is the gate to that. Sounds good. So now maybe we can move to your experience here. How was it for you to come here in short time, but still, how was the medicine here with us and staying here? Maybe to share.
I was extremely excited to be here. It's a very calm place. It's very calm. There's not a lot of rushing, or you don't have to do, or you can just be yourself and just be.
That's the whole point of this.
The ceremony was very humbling for me.
The first one.
The first one was very humbling, but at the same time, I think as a guide and as a person that wants to help other people, you should go through that. You really
Just ride the wave,
Well, and it helps you to also help others when they're struggling.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you know what the struggle is and you felt
You're
it,
there for them.
then you can be there for them.
You're there for them. You know the journey.
And then, it brought a lot of gratitude. The second ceremony brought a lot of gratitude. I felt very comfortable. And then the last ceremony was very, very clear. There was a lot of clarity.
Light and clear.
Writing, light and clear. I felt like there was like a whole process throughout the week that just kind of went from to.
Like a big wave came and she leveled the beach. Like, like when you sit on the beach and the ocean, like big, like wave come.
Ride the wave.
Just, whoa, whoa. I thought it's like a calm place. And they're like,
You ride the wave and then you lay on the beach.
yeah, exactly. Lay on the beach. It's like, oh, that's beautiful, No, but the wave. So maybe I want to share. Like, how was the first ceremony? Like, what was the challenging maybe part?
The challenge was really accepting where I was at, what I was doing, accepting myself really just coming into a place where, accepting of the kindness and the generosity that I have for others. There's times where, I feel very generous, I feel very kind, I feel very compassionate. And then, there's environmental worlds where, when you're driving and somebody cuts you off, do you feel very compassionate in that moment?
No, I feel enraged. I feel like getting my bait and just go and chase the guy, It's called road rage.
So it was really like fighting, like getting that out, just getting all of that negative stuff out. And so I think that was it was a big purge of getting the negative stuff out, and just feeling joyful in every moment and finding joy in every moment.
And there is, unless you're on the road.
I think we can do that too. We can have compassion.
I'm working on that, I don't know. I'm working. My wife is trying to help me with that. I'm still quite easily agitated by bad drivers. It's like I just want to chase them, fight with them. My wife's like, please, let's just go home. It's just been, I guess it's been Ukrainian at birth,
So take a deep breath in that moment, and then think about the garden.
No, of course, I can take my mind off. It's just like, it's like most of the time I don't want. It's like I want to show you who's right here, No, but I'm better now. It's like than before. But I'm better now. I mean, still there. I understand what you're talking about, but I'm definitely better than I was 20 years ago.
Me too.
I'm better, and I'm still alive. So that's good.
26 minutes.
Oh yeah, we have a little battery. So okay, so yeah, so just continue like your experience here with us. How you feel the medicine, the environment, the people.
It was amazing. It's a great experience. I feel like just being around the plants, being around the flowers that smell so good, being able to just be in a calmed, relaxed state.
Yeah, it's very healing.
It is very, very healing.
That's what we try to create here. Just peaceful place for people to come and just relax and just drop all the baggage,
Pretty much.
Just drop and just like look inside and understand yourself, heal, and go back and live a better life. That's it. That's what we do here. So what you're experiencing now, that's the energy of this place, Okay, so what else would you like to share? About Huachuma, about being here. How you feel now going back home? Like, do you feel any different? Do you feel more like something being released?
Definitely. I feel like there was a lot of things that I was holding on to that were just, they're not useful for me, and so I was able to release those. All of the nature here too is very healing. Just
the
being in
river.
the nature, and the only thing I can say is that I'm glad that I was prepared for rain and sun and for everything.
For all seasons.
For all seasons.
All seasons in one
That
day.
happened in one day.
Okay. Well, we're moving into April. That's it. Sun. All the way until the end of the year. So.
April is my birthday month.
Oh, when? The
28th.
Okay. All right. Well, it's going to be quite sunny and beautiful, very beautiful blue sky, white fluffy clouds just kind of floating. It's so beautiful,
We got some of that this week.
Well, yeah, definitely. No, it was beautiful. It wasn't bad at all. It's just some rain here and there, like sprinkles here and there. It's not heavy rain. Although this year we had a lot more rain than normal. I would say normal year, and it was like already like, hey, we're all ready for some sun. Everybody's ready for sun. So what would you like to maybe wrap it up with and tell people about Huachuma Wasi, and if those who would like to come but maybe they're afraid of Huachuma, maybe they're afraid of being in Peru, like all together, like fear.
Right. So fears, yeah. So I dropped some fears actually in the river last week.
On the first ceremony?
Second.
So when it's already was like more
And
fun.
it was actually more fears in my relationship and my relationship with myself and my relationship with Brian. But what I would say though is that being in Peru is not a fearful place. It's one of the most gentle places that I've been in. Most everyone is kind. They help each other out. I just see strangers like helping each other.
Happens.
I didn't have any fear walking, to the markets or walking in town. I mean, I do have Rocky Balboa next to me.
Yeah, of course.
I never
Hulk,
fear
man.
anything.
We upgraded him into Hulk.
Yeah, I never fear anything when Brian's next to me.
But even by yourself, you just go around. It's like you feel totally fine,
Yeah,
totally safe.
yeah.
You know,
I sat at the park last night by myself for a couple minutes while he was getting food,
it's
and
just a relaxed environment. You
yeah,
know?
it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful place, beautiful people. Bring your own ketchup.
Ketchup? Well, we have good ketchup. We buy in the store. You know, it's a pure ketchup. You know, we don't use the one that they give you. No, it's kind of diluted with water. Nah, we don't do that. No. We have our like real ketchup
Good for
from the stores. You know, real stuff. I don't do this. No.
Yeah.
So we have it. We have ketchup, guys. Okay, and girls. Yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of. The people here are nice. Traveling is very easy.
Easy.
It can be very affordable. In my life, no time has ever been the right time for anything. I have to make the time.
That's a key word.
So
That's the true words you just said.
Right. So
It's on my website.
But I have to. Oh, really?
Yes,
I don't know.
it's on the website on the section of Huachuma. I speak about this and I try to bring that into people consciousness. What you just said, it's right there. There is never a perfect time. You never wake up in the morning and the day is perfect to go to Peru to do medicine. You have to make the time.
I have to make the time. I took
That's
business
it.
calls here. I mean,
That's okay.
You have to.
can do things, no
like
problem.
that.
But you always need to make the time to do the things you want. That's the key point.
And there's. If you can only come for a week, come for a week. If you can come for longer, come for longer.
Better, but
You know?
better a week than no week.
Better a week than no week.
That's true. Of course, a month is better than a week, but a week is better than no week. You know.
So yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of excuses. I think that people can really give for not coming for a week.
Well, just fears. Just fears. That's it.
Yeah, but it's
It's all fears.
once you get here, that fear will go
Oh,
away.
yeah, for sure.
Just come.
Yeah, that's true. And in the first ceremony, probably after 2 hours.
Yeah, just come.
It's like, just book your flight, come here, we'll take care of you. It's like, but the fears, yeah, exactly. When you come here, the fears goes. But the fears are before coming. That's what blocks many people from coming. Oh, South America, Peru, medicine, Andes. Man, this is like a heavenly environment.
Yeah.
It's like you coming to heaven. You're afraid of love. You're afraid of experiencing love, clarity, healing, connection. You're afraid of this magnificent nature. You're afraid of calm, peaceful family environment. What's the fear of? What's the fear? What's the fears about? It's just all programming. Also programming against plants, with which we grew up in different parts of the world. It's just programming against nature, against plants, against healing. That's it. That's what I'm trying to help people to deprogram them from, by gently leading them into this beautiful experience. Where you can see for yourself that there's nothing to be afraid. So beautiful and amazingly, deeply healing and magical. And you just embrace love on every level you can, as a human being, as a conscious being, as a cosmic being, as all of us, all of these aspects that will incorporate.
It's definitely nothing to be afraid of. The food is good. The company is good. The streets, really, and especially if you're from a big city.
Oh my God, that's a medicine
Come
already.
Come here.
That's a
for
medicine
week.
just without the medicine.
Come here for a week.
Yeah,
deregulate.
disconnect.
Well, yeah, just to regulate your central nervous system. Here
Yes.
is a beautiful place to do
Yes. Yes, the healing starts. That's what I'm saying to people. It's like I'm telling you this. The healing here starts before the medicine. Before we take the medicine, you're already in the healing environment. Just come here, rest, sit in the garden, walk around. You're already getting healed. Your nervous system already get recalibrated before I give you the cup. You know, like before. When I give you the cup, that's already like, whoa, the game is on at that point. But the healing starts before.
Yeah.
Just peace. That's what I'm telling you. Peace, nature. This is my environment. It becomes so much me. I live here 16 years. Around Huachuma Wasi, we started right away. When we met with my wife, we built it from cornfield. It was a cornfield here. And I can't even go to Cusco anymore. Even Cusco for me is hard now.
Yeah.
I can't spend. When we go to Cusco, just go to movie theater with kids and have a family fun. It's good, but it's like it's so tiring for me. It's like I can go home earlier. Like when are we going back to Calca? Like literally, and that's Cusco,
Yeah, try a life.
That's already like I can't do cities anymore. It's like I'm very good here. I feel good here in this peaceful environment. This is my medicine. This is what I want. This is good for my soul. This is what keeps me healthy mentally, emotionally, physically. Just being at peace. So what you're saying is totally true. It's a medicine by itself. Just the peace is a medicine. And then of course Huachuma just kind of opens all the gates into healing and kind of allows you to really connect to this and really benefit from all this environment so much more.
Yeah.
Just like a hummingbird, just or bee, takes the nectar from the flower. That's how we feed our souls through Huachuma, from nature, from the river, from the trees, from the ground, mountains, clouds. We observe the beauty. That's my way of healing. It's through absorption of beauty of nature. You heal, and clarity come, and just get enlightened. You see the light. The light come and just shows you your path.
Right.
So, sounds good, Paula. Well, that was. Unless you want to say anything to wrap it up.
No, thank you.
No?
Thank
Okay.
you for doing the work for others.
Of course. Well, it's my purpose. It's my passion, my joy, my appreciation, my gratitude to the medicine. That's all together. So of course, well, thank you for your time to talk. And it was good, short visit, but good visit, and good that Brian has more time to really immerse in a depth Huachuma realm. I'm feeding him strong medicine, so by the time we're gone, he will be, in a very good spiritual place, very strong, much stronger than he was. But in terms of knowing where you are, where is your heart, So yeah, we still have a week, and then you will see him in a week home.
I will see him.
Like next Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday.
I think he comes in Sunday morning.
Yeah,
So he leaves
flying Saturday. Yeah,
he flies
yeah,
out Saturday and
yeah.
comes in Sunday.
Makes sense. Okay, Paul, thank you very much. Well, I wish you all the best in your, serving your medicines to people there, especially Buffo. And I'll be happy to refer people your way, whoever asks. I never impose anything, but when people ask, I share. Sounds good. Okay, well, you have a beautiful day. Your car is booked for 30, so
Perfect.
you have time to relax. The whole day pretty much, and then you go to airport.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
Okay, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right,
Lots of
Peanut.
cats.
Lots of cats everywhere. A lot of cats. I got some tuna. Let's go eat some tuna. Perfect.